Welcome to Key Tech. Please describe this channel if you're interested in today's video. When TSMC released its 2025 financial results, which were filled with magical realism, the global semiconductor industry was in deep thought. The 28nm chips produced at its Nanjing plant had become a hot commodity in the new energy vehicle industry, generating resounding profits, while its Arizona plant, in the United States, was steadily losing money. This trans-Pacific industrial experiment not only exposed deep-seated contradictions in TSMC's strategic decisions but also reflected the harsh reality of industrial chain restructuring in the era of globalization. Foreign media outlets also commented, "TSMC is at a crossroads. TSMC's Arizona plant has been losing money." When TSMC engineers discovered they needed to personally teach American workers how to properly wear cleanroom clothing, the chip foundry giant perhaps truly understood the meaning of technology-driven poverty alleviation. Hourly wages 40% higher than in Taiwan were traded for one-third the production efficiency, and water consumption per wafer was 1.6 times higher, turning into precious liquid gold in the desert. This contrast isn't just reflected in production figures, it also reflects the cultural disconnect inherent in industrial migration. While Taiwanese engineers were tweaking lithography machine parameters at 3 a.m., American workers were negotiating for a strict 40-hour workweek at the union negotiating table. Even more paradoxically, the $6.6 billion in subsidies promised by the U.S. under the $52 billion chip bill ultimately arrived, a paltry sum. This brings to mind the success of Tesla's Texas Gigafactory. Musk's quip, "Building cars is easier than making chips," inadvertently revealed the unique nature of the semiconductor industry. It requires precision manufacturing comparable to aerospace engineering, while also relying on East Asia's unique engineer bonus and industrial clustering. TSMC's Phoenix operations replicated not only production lines but also the tacit knowledge accumulated over 3 decades by the entire Taiwanese semiconductor industry. Mirroring the bleak performance of its American factories is the Nanjing factory's legendary success with its 28nm process. This 12-inch wafer fab, built on 28nm chips, delivers monthly shipments of Huawei's Ascend AI chips equivalent to half a year's production capacity at its Tokyo factory. Behind this discrepancy lies the clash of two industrial logics. American factories pursue the technological holy grail of 2nm process technology, while the Nanjing factory has built a complete ecosystem in mature process technology. With 70% of the world's new energy vehicle electronic control system chips coming from the Yangtze River Delta, TSMC's Nanjing factory has effectively become a hidden champion in the smart car sector. This strategic choice is no accident. The R&D cost of 28nm chips is only 1/5 of that of 3nm processors, yet they can cover a vast market ranging from home appliance controls to autonomous driving. More crucially, China's comprehensive industrial chain creates a strong cost advantage. From silicon material purification to packaging and testing, every link is meticulously refined by local companies. The cohesiveness of this industrial ecosystem is far from being shaken by suppression. As the photovoltaic industry experienced, when Chinese companies drove component costs down to 60% of the global average, any attempt to restructure the supply chain seemed futile. TSMC's predicament is essentially a microcosm of the fading benefits of globalization. When the US used the sword of Damocles of 100% tariffs to force companies to relocate, they may have underestimated the complexity of industrial relocation. The semiconductor industry isn't a Lego building block that can be moved at will, but rather a Swiss watch that requires precise interlocking pieces. The engineering culture of Taiwan's Hsinchu Science Park, the zero inventory, collaboration between upstream and downstream companies, and the minute-by-minute response of its logistics system, these soft strengths are TSMC's true core competitiveness. This industrial characteristic determines the unique nature of the semiconductor industry. It requires both the economies of scale brought by globalization and the ecological barriers formed by regionalization. The plight of US factories proves that simply reconstructing the industrial chain through mere manipulation is like trying to glue together broken porcelain. Even if the surface is restored, the underlying cracks remain. The success of the Chinese market, however, reveals another truth. In mature process technologies, the cost advantages and rapid technological iteration generated by industrial chain clusters are rewriting the underlying logic of global semiconductor competition. TSMC now stands at a crossroads in 2025, and the choices it faces are more difficult than ever. Continuing to invest in US factories means continued losses, but abandoning them risks missing out on technological dominance. Deepening efforts in the Chinese market promises guaranteed profits, but also carries potential risks. This dilemma reflects the paradigm shift currently underway in the semiconductor industry. As Moore's law gradually breaks down and the input-output ratio of advanced processes continues to deteriorate, the ecological value of mature processes becomes increasingly prominent. Perhaps the true path to a breakthrough lies in redefining the meaning of technological leadership. Just as ASML, a Dutch company, has established an industry alliance by opening up its EUV lithography technology standards, TSMC can forge new technical standards in mature processes, transforming its scale advantage in the Chinese market into global influence. After all, in the era of new energy and artificial intelligence, the application scenarios of 28nm chips are likely to be broader than those of 3nm chips. In summary, TSMC's 28nm chips at its Nanjing factory have been profitable thanks to orders from automakers, while its US factories are losing money. This is, as foreign media have noted, TSMC is at a crossroads. What are your thoughts?